Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday.
Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. And I'm playing something quite different than what I usually play on my channel today. And I'm partly doing this because I've been wanting to try this for a very long time and just never really got the cards together on Magic Online. And secondly, because we are entering the last stages of the lame duck format period of this current legacy iteration. I am expecting quite the shakeup in what will be a few days from the release of this video. I think December 16th is when the ban announcement is coming. And I think most of us are expecting something to happen at least with Psychic Frog or something else from the Reanimator deck. And probably or possibly also something like Vexing Bauble. But anyways, that will all be known very shortly. And so I just felt like playing something that was a bit, different and not care too much about trying to iterate in this current meta. So I'm playing Four Horsemen, and in case you are not familiar, this is like a unique deck, a unique situation in Legacy as far as I am aware. Basically, this deck surfaced many years ago at I think it was like a Star City Games tournament, and no one had, or at least no one present had really seen it before or were aware of how to deal with it from the judge side. And eventually, the deck was sort of soft banned in the sense that you cannot play this deck and not accrue slow game warnings, and eventually you'll get banned. So let me tell you why. So the combo in this deck is that you resolve a mesmeric orb, which means that whenever a permanent untaps, the controller of that permanent mills a card. And you play Basalt Monolith. It's a 3-mana artifact, taps for 3, and you can pay 3 mana to untap it. So with these two in play, you can tap and untap Basalt Monolith any number of times. And whenever you do, you mill over a card. So you mill your entire deck. And what happens then is you mill 3 copies of Narcomoeba, you get them into play. You mill a Sir Conrad, you get him into play by casting a Dread Return, sacking the 3 Narcomoebas. Now, once Sir Conrad is in play, he says that whenever a creature card leaves your graveyard, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. And right now you have the 3 Narcomoebas in your deck. So what do? You keep milling, then you hit an Emrakul. An Emrakul says to shuffle your entire graveyard into your library. So Emrakul is a creature who will leave the graveyard, deals 1 damage. And the Narcomoebas are leaving your graveyard, they deal 1 damage. And so you just keep milling. Yeah, this also says that whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, he deals damage, which means that once you then start milling over and over again, the Narcomoebas that were just shuffled into your library will be milled over again, and that will trigger him. And so you just keep repeating. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that you need these cards to enter your graveyard from your library in a specific order. Specifically, you need what I just explained, the 3 Narcomoebas, the 1 copy of Dread Return, and the 1 copy of Sir Conrad. They need to enter the graveyard before you hit Emrakul. Because if you hit Emrakul, let's say you mill over 3 copies of Narcomoeba, you mill over Sir Conrad, but you don't mill over a Dread Return, but then you hit the Emrakul, then the Emrakul triggers immediately, and even if you were to keep milling until you hit a Dread Return, then because Dread Return is sorcery speed, you get to a point where um, you have to just shuffle everything in. You can't cast Dread Return. So that's the problem. The problem is that you are not able to stipulate how many iterations of the combo loop you have to perform to get the result that you want. And that was back then when someone was playing this deck in a tournament, that was decided to mean that you can get slow play warnings because you're not progressing the state of the game. Just like milling your graveyard endlessly into, or your library endlessly into the graveyard doesn't work, or is not allowed basically. You need to be able to say, like, say with Food Chain, all right, well, I'm going to exile Miss Hollow Griffin for 5 blue mana and recast it for 4, netting 1 mana, and I'm going to do that 10,000 times, and I'll have 10,000 blue mana. At which point I will start doing it, but exiling it for green mana until I have 4,000 of each color of mana, and blah blah blah. You can say that at a paper tournament, and that is legit. That is permissible. But what you can't do is you can't say I'm gonna perform this sequence of actions, but I can't say how many times I need to do it. It might be just one time. After which, you can say, well, once Sir Conrad is in play, I just need to do it X amount of time until I've dealt the 20 damage. But up until that point, you don't know when the cards are going to enter the graveyard in the order you need. So that's why this deck is, I think, the only one that I'm aware of, at least, that is impossible to play in paper, but can be played on Magic Online because we have the chess clock. So eventually, if completing this combo eats up all my clock, well, goes to show. I brought it on myself. Okay, so what do we have around this combo? Well, we have a Demir style deck. We have Cabal Therapy because they're pretty great with Anarchamoebas. And just to clear cards from your opponent's hand. We have a couple of Thoughtseizes, and I decided to make a 2 Thoughtseize, 3 Spell Pierce split rather than 3 Thoughtseize, which I've seen the very, very few other lists I've seen sort of on floating around on the internet play 3 Thoughtseize. I'm a little bit worried about our life total because we're also like a 4 copies of Ancient Tomb deck, so I thought like splitting that up might make sense. I think Spell Pierce has like a decent amount of targets, especially in the Reanimator deck. We are an A plus B combo here, um, but we only have 4 copies of each. There are some like blue creatures that cost blue and 2 that like lets you search up an artifact that costs 2 or less or 3 or less or whatever. But I decided to go with intuition because it's the same mana cost and you can do it at end of turn rather than tap out at sorcerer speed in your own turn, which I like. And it also synergizes with our sideboard Duke, which is this Duke is show and tell. And by the way, look at this art. I never seen this. I just got these today, and this is just a little side note to myself. Don't sell these. Like I have bought and sold so many copies of show and tell on Magic Online because I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna play show and tell once, and then I don't like it really. It's not really for me, and they're always like worth something, so I sell them to buy other stuff because I don't have like a subscription. So, but yeah, so show and tell, it's pretty neat with the ancient tomb city of traders already there, and the blue, all the blue and black disruption and cantrips, and we just have like, and we already have 2 Emrakuls. So we get the third Emrakul, we get 2 copies of Atraxa, we get um, we get a copy of Dream Halls. I thought just to have like a 5th show and tell, and yeah, hopefully we can win like that. So I am a little bit concerned about a couple of things. I'm concerned about the clock, but because like clicking through this combo is going to take a little while, so I'll try and be mindful of that. I'm also quite concerned about Vexing Bauble for game one because I don't think this deck can realistically beat a resolve Vexing Bauble in game one, except if we bounce it with Brazen Borrower. So I'm playing 2 Brazen Borrowers for that reason. We can, like, on the play, we can Thoughtseize it out, we can Force of Will it. We can, I suppose, theoretically, like, just find a Dread Return and then, like, start performing our combo with an extra black, black 2 floating. But I consider that to be fairly unlikely to work out. So, and I've just completed, I've decided to completely ignore Graveyard Hate from like in terms of the sideboard. I don't have any. I think we'll just have to kind of deal with it as we go. If we pivot to the sideboard juke, I think we are a better show and tell deck than the Demir Reanimator. They would need to have, I think, Archon or Grizzlebrand for that not to be true. Like if we show and tell and we resolve an Atraxa, it's parity. If we resolve Omniscience and then like Emrakul or whatever, then we're just miles ahead. And if we just resolve Emrakul, I don't think they have anything that removes him. At least not that I'm aware of. Anyways, that is enough of this. Let's jump into the league. This is Four Horsemen. All right, we are on the draw for round number one. I will also say this is the very first time I'm playing this deck. I have not taken it for a test run, so maybe well, there is a chance I'll be messing things up more than I would if I had actually taken some time off to play it and get to know it. But let's just take it as an experience. I'm going to keep this hand and really hope I don't get Vexing Bobbled. And if not, then this hand I think seems like a pretty good hand. Oh, Thoughtseize, or rather Underground Sea Mirror. I do expect there's a pause in my upkeep here. I think maybe they have Entomb. I don't know. Yeah, I think I might just not do anything here, in which case I should have floated a fetch land. And at least I would have been able to get Undercity Sewers. Okay. Psychic Frog. Okay, I think we, well, I mean, I'm not going to Hail Mary Brainstorm for that. But I am very sad that I'm missing out on the Surveil thing here. Okay, let's get rid of some of these cards that we really don't want in our hand. Yeah, let's get rid of the two Narcomoebas, I guess. The Emrakul obviously is not great either. The Intuition gets the Mesmeric Orb here eventually, but I am a little bit concerned about this frog starting to dig my opponent into more cards. This costs 3, right? Yeah. I mean, the Brainstorm is not bad. Yeah, let's draw Misty Rainforest, and then we'll draw Brainstorm, and we'll decide what we're gonna do next turn. Like me resolving a Basalt Monolith, or me putting Basalt Monolith on the stack, I think it's gonna be worth a daze for them. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be worth a Force of Will. Okay, so they get to draw a card here. Thoughtseize would be annoying. Just lots of things would be annoying here. Wasteland would be annoying. Another frog. Okay, I mean that's also, yeah. There's Wasteland. Yikes. So the game is going to get away from us pretty quickly here. I think like I need a soul land. Is what I need. Let's so I know there's a Narcomoeba on top that I don't want, so I can brainstorm and put away that Narcomoeba and this Emrakul and hope the next two are good, and then I can Thoughtseize them. Okay, two Narcomoebas. I guess like having the one Emrakul in my hand is decent enough because it means there's only one, and when you're executing the combo, you kind of don't want too many of that effect. Do I Thoughtseize here? Oh, I can't. I can't. No, I'm only playing 3 Underground Seas. Okay, then I'm just gonna Surveil. And Spell Pierce. I think that can go into the graveyard. I almost kept it, but we still end up with like a problem of playing into days. All right. So we're just getting buried in card disadvantage here. Or our opponent's card advantage. Okay. They are dumping a couple of cards to pump the frogs. Next turn, they can make one of them a 9 power creature. Another wasteland. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when you draw like 2 to 3 extra cards every turn. Or not extra, but 2 or 3 cards. Yeah, I think this game has gotten away from us, unfortunately. Okay. I'm gonna Thoughtseize here, and then I will probably concede. The only silver lining is that our opponent probably has no idea what's up here. We've just shown them demure cards. Yeah, double days. Yikes. Brazen Borrower is also quite naughty. Um, yeah, I'm at 9. I'm at 11. They have 4 power. They can make that 9 power. I'm just going to concede. Okay, but that also means I'm not gonna pivot here. I'm probably just gonna resubmit the deck as it is. There's even a chance I want some number of Lotus Petals to be better at playing around days. In which case, what do I remove? Probably the 2 Brazen Borrowers. I don't expect to be in need of removing anything here. By the way, if I sound funny or if you hear me sniffling, it's because I'm recovering from a bit of a cold. So apologies for any annoying, nostril guttural sounds emanating from me. All right, we choose to be on the play, and I don't know. This hand needs brainstorm to resolve next turn, but I think I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to Thoughtseize them here, and so I either take their days, and then what happens is on their second turn, they're going to reanimate this troll, which means I'm going to get it's going to get my second turn, then they get the troll, going to get my third turn, then they attack me down to 14, get my fourth turn, I'm down to 8, and my fifth turn, and I'm probably dead because by then I will have. Oh yeah, never mind. I am dead because I've Thoughtseize. I was gonna say I'll probably have. So it's like I'm gonna get 5 turns in total, and do I believe I'm able to? I think I'm gonna bet on that. So I'm gonna take the days because I think days is probably very good versus what I'm trying to do. Okay, that was a flooded strand. That's very good. That's the mesmeric orb. So that's half of our combo. Let's get rid of Sir Conrad and probably the Emrakul, and then we'll pass. So they get to reanimate their troll now. I untap and I play orb. They attack me for 6. I untap. I cast intuition. They attack me for 6. I untap and then like they haven't drawn a force of will. Is my hope. Oh no, they don't. Interesting. I thought they were gonna cycle the troll now. I guess if they just hit like any creature here, it's the same or even better because like if it's a Traxxas or something. Okay, but they keep what they found on top. So if they found a Thoughtseize, that's pretty annoying. That they're going to take my intuition, but you know, at least we're still like drawing live. Okay, now they cycle troll. Okay, yeah, never mind. I guess yeah, didn't think about that. They could just do it on the same turn. So they drew something they liked. There's reanimate. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna fetch Undercity Sewers. I think I put this in the graveyard. Like Wasteland can still mess me up here, but I have 2 more land drops to make. And there's another land anyways. Yeah. Do I cast the intuition now? Oh gosh, that's a good question. That would play right into days. And they did just put something on top here. I don't know. I could also play out a Mesmeric Orb now and see if they want to spend a counterspell on that. I don't have a lot of time though. I can't really afford to play around. They have 3 unknown. Okay, the orb is in, and this is obviously a little bit scary because if they mill a creature, they have animate dead. And there's a psychic frog. Well, they get to animate dead their psychic frog, but then that's what they're doing this turn. Okay, I take 6. I go to 11. I'm at an effective 10. Am I just dead now? I think I'm just dead now. If they animate dead the frog, because then they can just dump their whole hand next turn. And that together with troll is lethal. Yeah. Rough. Getting roughed up here by the boogeyman of the format. I mean, we can just hope to naturally draw um, the the thing, the basalt monolith right now, and hope that there isn't a force of will and a blue card in their top three cards, or in their three unknown cards. I mean, could they cycle another troll? And then I guess they animate dead that. That way they don't have to discard what's in their hand. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, basalt monolith. I mill force of will. No, I mill basalt monolith. Oh, ugh. Okay, GG's. All right, another on the draw dice roll here versus Swampy Swamp, whom I do believe is a Doomsday player or a combo player. I'm gonna keep this hand. Has half of our combo, and we can cast Ponder and Cabal Therapy and whatnot. Do I run the risk of getting Wastelanded here? I am already sort of kind of vulnerable to Wasteland. I think I cast the Ponder here in case I want to cast the discard spell next turn. Okay, I mean, there's the other half of the combo, but it is just so mana intensive to cast Intuition. Undercity Sewers. And they pass, and they kept the thing on top. I wonder if I'm supposed to cast the Basalt Monolith into a daze here. I do kind of like getting it in, and I don't know that this is like a counter target per se. It's always tempting to daze something here if you can, but yeah. Also, if they are in Doomsday and they just surveil to the top, we might just be dead here, and you can make the argument that I should be casting either like the Blind Therapy or the Brainstorm. Okay, let's see. It's red mana. Okay. This could be Ant then. Yeah, with Badlands, I think that's probably. Oh, no, it's something completely different. Barrowgoyf. Okay. I draw Sir Conrad, which means there's only one of him. Also, only one Dread Return here. Okay, I think I am going to cast Intuition. Yeah, I'm going to cast Intuition on their turn. Steals 2, so they get to mill 2. And they find a Psychic Frog and a Sheoldred's Edict. I guess here comes the frog, would be my guess. Yep. Alright. Well, let's see. Do I get to resolve this? And we're going to pick 3 copies of Mesmeric Orb. I get 1 copy, and I'm actually going to brainstorm here and at least put one of either Sir Conrad or Dread Return back in my deck. Oh, and there's 1 copy of Emrakul. So I guess that's good. Okay, I'm gonna put back so that Sir Conrad is in my hand once I untap here. That was pretty sweet, drawing the force plus the blue card as well. I guess I'll start by Cabal Therapy. I probably just name Force of Will here. They have Force of Will. They have Nimble Obstructionist, but I think that requires 3 mana, yeah. It also, yeah, it could mess us up if it cycles or counters the shuffle effect. Okay. So Force of Will is gone. And they have 5 cards. They're going to brainstorm in response to this Basalt Monolith. Or Mesmeric Orb, I mean. Which is fine. Because we have the Force as well. And they would need to find another Force here. Orb is in play. Alright, here we go. 22 minutes on the clock. There's the Dread Return. And no, that's just it. Oh, hang on. Oh my god, so many clicks. For a second I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Because you just click the monolith here. But then I thought for some reason I was milling 3 cards at a time. Okay, there's an Narcomoeba. And so what I need now is 2 more copies of Narcomoeba, and then Sir Conrad, or the fourth Narcomoeba, and then I can Cabal Therapy myself and put Sir Conrad into the graveyard. Oh, and there's the Emrakul trigger. Okay, so that happens. I'll see no, and then I'll start doing it again. There's a Dread Return. There's first Narcomoeba, second Narcomoeba. Maybe I'm supposed to let each Narcomoeba happen. Is that right? Let me just think about that. So if I just let these two happen right now, then they're in play. Then if I hit Emrakul, yeah, I think probably I'm supposed to just let them come into play. I guess it's a little bit problematic if opponent has access to removal, but they don't right now. There's third Narcomoeba, and we already have the Dread Return, so now is between finding Sir Conrad or fourth Narcomoeba before we hit Emrakul. Alright, we hit the fourth Narcomoeba. Sweet. Okay, so I'm going to bring that into play. I'm going to cast Cabal Therapy, targeting myself, sacking a Narcomoeba. I'm going to name Sir Conrad. Whoops. So Sir Conrad the Grim is discarded here. Okay, and my opponent concedes. Alright, thanks opponent. Alright, cool. That was more along the lines we drew up here. Take game 1. So let's board in everything but the 2 consigned to memory for game number 2. And let's board out, let's see. We're going to definitely board out the 8 artifacts. Or, nah, hang on. Basalt Monolith could potentially cast Show and Tell, right? No, but we probably board those out. If we board out Narcomoebas, are we going to get in trouble with blue cards? Probably not, right? No. And then what else? Casting, like getting Sir Conrad into play. He's a 5/4, which is probably not very good. So he's not very good. So I guess the question is having Basalt Monolith better as just like something you can do for 3 mana and then eventually you can cast something big? I honestly think so, though I am a little bit unsure, right? We can board out the Dread Returns as well, because one of the benefits of not having any of the combo post board is that any sort of artifact hit your opponent brings in just gets completely blanked. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. I guess we probably could board out the Academy runes as well. I mean, I'm gonna keep this. I am a little bit worried that we saw black mana, and so they probably are like a deck that could have Thoughtseize. I still have to get used to this artwork here. Yeah, all right. So the juke is up. They're gonna take my show and tell, and we will we'll have to take it from there. Yep, we drew a basic island. I think I just get Underground Sea here. Don't know. I don't think that this deck plays what's the card I'm looking for? Wasteland. Yeah. All right. So we find Show and Tell. We find a Force of Will, which isn't like terribly useful. So I think we take Force of Will now, or Ancient Tomb maybe. Then we pass turn. We draw the other one of those 2 cards. Like we draw Ancient Tomb and Force of Will, and we. Yeah, but the thing is, I want to have Underground Sea, Ancient Tomb and Island in play when I want to put the turn I want to cast Show and Tell because I want a Cabal Therapy as well, and that requires me to do it like this because I want to hide the Show and Tell for as long as possible. Now, mind you, this deck I don't know if they would play any like sacrifice effects post board. Okay, I'm gonna just play out this Ancient Tomb here and pass. So this is where I cast Show and Tell, or not Show and Tell, Cabal Therapy, and it's a lot trickier playing Cabal Therapy in the age of Force of Negation. I still think I'm gonna name Force of Will. They had Force of Will, Colgan's Command, and Opposition. Unfortunately, they also have Red Blast, but this means we're just one blue card away. Like if the top of our deck is a blue card, then it's kind of good. All right. So we hit the Force of Will. Oh no. And I almost passed through my turn here. I'm gonna play Basic Island. Okay, and they probably will flash in Oppo Agent now, which obviously is an annoying creature, but not detrimental to what we're trying to do. As long as we don't draw like Intuition. Well, if we draw Intuition, we're happy. It's a blue card. Okay, they cast Ponder. Now I'm very concerned about them finding another Thoughtseize. They did not shuffle. Colgan's Command says I discard a card and whatever. Blue card. No! Okay. How much mana can we get up to here with what we have? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 11 with this Basalt Monolith. But that requires me to take damage now. I could also just keep open Force of Will here. But they're going to know it's like face up, so if they have something really nasty, they will just always leave open a red mana if they can see me being able to hardcast the Force. Okay, I think I'm going to cast the Basalt Monolith here. And I'm going to play another copy of Ancient Tomb. Alright, take another 3. Blue card. Oh, god damn it. Okay, well, we can't play the Pluto Delta, or we can play it, but we can't use it because of Oppo Agent. Colgan's Command. Okay, I'm going to discard Pluto Delta. And they destroyed... Oh yeah, I forgot about that part of it. They destroyed the Basalt Monolith. Fine. That's not part of the plan. So 3 unknown cards, sorry, and 1 Red Blast that currently just has us... It has us covered. Can I get a blue card? Yes. Okay. Let's try this. And they Red Blast, and we Force of Will, and I do expect them to have this covered between the Ponder and all their draw steps. Even if they have Snapcaster here, it works. They can just like snap back the Reb. Okay. So they found Force of Will. I'm gonna pass and at least give myself the out of finding like top decking another Show and Tell. The Undercity Sewers and put Scalding Tarn into the graveyard. Cling to Dust, my Cabal Therapy. Okay. That draws them a card. If at any point they get like something that Snapcaster like gets the flashback, the Thoughtseize, that's also game. Oof, Brainstorm. It's a lot of looks at a lot of cards. Okay, Show and Tell? No. Alright, I'm gonna Thoughtseize just for information and then concede. We could take one more draw step, I suppose. But it wouldn't have helped us because they had the Pyroblast. Okay, so with all these, like, with all these Red Blasts, I think probably I'm better off going back to being the Basalt Monolith Mesmeric Orb combo. Now I'm just kind of sad that I showed them the Basalt Monolith. So we bring back these, and we remove Atraxa, Show and Tell, the the one extra Emrakul. This doesn't seem very good. I have two cards in my hand I don't want there, but um, Brainstorm probably helps. And I am actually, I think, do I Brainstorm now? Like if they just float red mana, no, I can't get myself to do it. I'm gonna leave open, uh, leave up my options here. So I am gonna fetch Undercity Sewers. They could very well have a red blast in mind here, which would make me sad. What happens if I put Sir Conrad into the graveyard and they can just cling to dust him? I don't think we want that. So now I'm gonna have 3 unwanted cards in my hand. Unbelievable. Okay. I'm gonna pass here and hope they fetch and give me a chance to cast this Brainstorm. No luck. And here we go. They just pass. Nice and patient. Land? No, not a land. Thoughtseize. Let's try that. Pyroblast and Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. So I think I'm gonna just accept. I'm gonna get rid of the Pyroblast and see if they try to play the Bowmasters now. And then I'll Brainstorm in response. This means I'm missing my land drop, which is really annoying. But I do think it's maybe worth it to save a couple of turns on the clock. So let's get rid of Sir Conrad and the Dread Return. And they get to Bowmasters me now. And the Kolaghan's Command is also going to be a problem, right? Because they can just hold up the mana and do it at instant speed. So good. Ponder. Leaving up, well, I suppose they would have to leave up the blank mana here, but they're looking for. Thoughtseize or Red Blast would be my guess. They shuffle. They don't attack. That must have been a slip. Okay, so I draw the Dread Return. And, probably. Oh, this card just does it all right. So if I tap out for Basalt Monolith, then they have to spend their turn killing it, or let me untap with it, in which case if they kill it then I can intuition with the mana from it. So that's at least something. So I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so that's in. Okay, we should have been at 12 here, so we can try and keep that in mind. Let's see if they just elbow tap the Kolaghan's Command here. I guess yeah, that's what they're doing. They're choosing the modes. Okay, I take 2, and my Basalt. No, I discard a card. Okay. I shall discard Dread Return. Second Narcomoeba. Lovely. Yeah, I guess I will play an Archimeeba and pass. Their hand is Psychic Frog, Tameo, and 2 cards I don't know about. Here comes the Surveil. They like what they found. It's terrifying. Okay, Ponder it is. Here comes Frog. Attack with the army. I'm gonna block. Just try and save a little bit of damage here. Ponder. Do I risk that? That's gonna cost me 2 life effectively. And more life every turn. That was good. Mesmeric Orb. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna try that. That will also, if I get it and I keep it, it will mill the Narcomoeba that's on top of my deck. Plus some more stuff. But let's see. They might have found Force. Okay. Or I guess they could have found second Kolaghan's Command. So they mill 3 cards. There's a Red Blast. Go away, Red Blast. Basic Mountain and 3 at the face of it. They could pump big time. So I mill. It's actually pretty nice to mill over the Narcomoeba here because I can get in front of the Psychic Frog. Okay, they surgical extract the Narcomoeba. Can I survive that? I think I need to cast Intuition right now and Force of Will that, and they could very easily have an answer to. Yeah, they have Red Blast. All right, GG's. 0-2, rough start for the Horsemen, but come on, yeah, yeah. All right, we are on the play for round number 3, and gonna mulligan this hand, and I'm gonna keep this hand. All right, cool. Let's try and resolve this mesmer. Oops, no, that was the wrong card. Yeah, I forgot I had to actually mulligan or put a card away. Put away a Misty Rainforest, and I think I'm gonna just go Ancient Tomb, Mesmeric Orb here. Give us the chance of just drawing the win button next turn. Okay, that resolved, and we even have the Brazen Borrower for a in case they have Vexing Bauble. Okay, Flooded Strand. I mill a card here. Don't be Basalt Monolith. Ha! Alright, yeah, I'm gonna put this into play because we have Cabal Therapy. Um, so let's cast Cabal Therapy. Maybe I'm better off waiting to do this, but then if they have a removal spell for my Narcomoeba, that's pretty annoying. Okay, there was a long pause, and then they decided to fetch. Ooh, Underground Sea. A Brainstorm. Okay. Wonder what I'm supposed to name. Underground Sea means it's Demir Tempo, Froginator, or Doomsday, most likely. And they're brainstorming away, so they could be like trying to double bluff me here and then like keep your Force of Will in hand, thinking that's what I'm going for, but that's what now I'm not going to name. But I think I probably will name Psychic Frog. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. They do have a Psychic Frog, and they have an Entomb, so I can leave them with just Daze, which I think I am going to do. Okay, so that was the Psychic Frog. I'm just going to take the Entomb. That's the card that kills me right now. If they hit a Force of Will on top, um, then, you know, that's a little bit annoying. But so be it. Alright, and we pass. They're going to get some value out of the Brainstorm here because of the Mesmeric Orb. Unless they forgot about it and hit the card they wanted. Hey, they did. Undersea Sewers. Okay. So their hand is Daze plus 3 lands and then 1 unknown card. That they just now milled. It was a Barrogoyf. Okay. No, well, not. That's not true. Never mind. I'm talking nonsense. Okay. We mill a Brainstorm. Ooh, that would have been nice. So yeah. I'm going to get Undersea Sewers here. But that's not even very good with Mesmeric Orb. Okay. And they mill over a Psychic Frog with the Mesmeric Orb. That's funny. This card really just messes with everything. There's a Ponder. Yeah, so like with the polluted Delta here, getting Undercity Sewers, maybe it's not even worth it. Because let's see, if I find a card I don't want, then it's gonna get milled anyways. Because of Mesmeric Orb. Thoughtseize. Tell you what, I'm just gonna play this Brazen Borrower. It's gonna cost me 2 life here. But none of us are doing anything here, and they're gonna take 1 damage or 2 damage from the Thoughtseize anyways. I think this is worth the 2. Okay, how about an Intuition, huh? Or even better, how about just Basalt Monolith? 3 discard spell, or 3 mills. Land, that's good. Another land, thank you. And, oh wow, that was really lucky. But I dropped, get the fuck out of here. How about that? Top 4 cards of my deck were all lands. What are the odds? Now, obviously, like we went over before, they're an Entomb deck. Giving them 3 free mills is a little bit worrisome. But so far, we've not been greatly punished. There's Troll. I mean, as soon as they hit an animate spell, they're going to be happy. Okay, here comes a fetch land. Is this for a sewers? Okay. This can only ever end up in the graveyard with whatever's on top. They don't get to keep it no matter what. So let's see what it was. It was a Fatal Push. Okay. So yeah, any animation spell gets them either Psychic Frog or Troll, whichever one they prefer. But any Basalt Monolith gets me the win. I don't. I don't think it's. Maybe it's worth it just like tapping here. Maybe to hit Narcomoebas. Okay, they're paying costs here for something. Okay, so they are reanimating the Barrowgoyf. Okay, so now it's no longer like there is no longer a race. So I think I'm just gonna take a draw step here. 4 lands in a row. Don't make it 5, please. It was 5. Are you kidding me? Okay. Narcomoeba. Lovely. Does it need... Yeah, it needs to deal combat damage. I think I just play out this Narcomoeba to chump block. And... Do I attack here? It means a mill. I feel like I'm due for a good card here. Maybe I just don't attack. Also, maybe that's just faulty logic. Okay, let's see here. What did they hit? Brainstorm and Force of Will. Glad those cards are gone. Okay, here comes the attack. I'm going to block with Narcomoeba. Narcomoeba makes a valiant sacrifice. They're still sitting on Days and Blue Delta, I think. Which they just played out now. So Days plus 2 unknowns. And I mill 2 cards here. Oh, Intuition. Oh, Basalt Monolith. No. No. Okay. Brainstorm. Save me, Brainstorm. Yeah, this is from your graveyard. Alright, let's get rid of Ancient Tomb and Dread Return. And do I just play out the Narcomoeba here? Maybe that was a punt. Tell you what, I'm going to cast Brainstorm right now. Because we will get the de facto shuffle from the Mesmeric Orb anyways. And the Barrowgoyf is a big boy now. Alright, get basic island here. And cast Brainstorm. Maybe they were sitting on a force. That would kind of make sense why they played out the 5th land and why they're pausing on both of these Brainstorms. I mean, it's not great for me if they force will this, but it's also, I guess, just as well, where they would have had that force of will for the actual, like, Basalt Monolith. It's funny they would choose to do it now. Okay. I'm going to play out the Narcomoeba just to get another chump block. And I guess we're already milling 4 cards. We might as well mill a 5th. In which case we should have just done this last turn. They would have been at 6 life now. Okay. And now they mill over everything here. They attack. Narcomoeba gets in front of the Barrowgoyf. And we just pass. Priority. Okay, now we mill 4 cards. 5 cards, rather. There's also the creature Mesmeric Orb, Force of Will, Emrakul. Okay, so everything is shuffled. That means a Basalt Monolith is put back. Oh, Narcomoeba. Hey, buddy. Yeah? I'll just maze. It could be Maze of Ithing this. That's funny. Academy ruins. Okay. Come on, big draw step. Ponder, yeah. And two more ponders. I think so, right? I think that's better than a random card. And I'll take the last ponder. Like if there is a Basalt Monolith or Intuition there, that's pretty good. There is not. We could just take Cabal Therapy and then mill away these two other cards. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's attack with Brazen Bee. Okay, and what did they mill? That was another force. So all four forces are in the graveyard now from them. And clearing out my graveyard also shrunk the Goyf. There were artifacts before. This is a funny game. Okay. And I still think I'd probably just step in front of this, right? I have to be mindful that my Cabal Therapy is exiled the other copy, so this is the only one I have, in case I need to flash it back during a combo turn. And they're also like, they're at 26 cards. If they start doing stuff, I mean, it seems unlikely, but it's not impossible that we like actually mill them out. They entomb. Okay. So if they have a Atraxa here with like an animation spell, that's pretty scary. Archon. Okay. That's also pretty scary. There it is. Okay. That basically means I'm on a one turn clock here. Okay. And everything goes away here. We didn't really need the Cabal Therapy because they are what do you say? All the forces are gone. There's a Wasteland. That's also pretty good for them because it means, first of all, it means if they have multiple dazes, which I think they have. We know about one, and there are 24 cards left, and there's not another daze in exile. Oh, but they take Underground Sea. Interesting. Okay, then I'm less worried. Okay. I mill away the two cards that were on top, the Force and the Dread Return. Can we hit it big one time? Basalt Monolith. Ugh. Okay. Bummer. Okay, off to the sideboard. And I think we definitely want the juke here. So let's board in these 13 cards. And we board out the Mesmeric Orbs, the Narcomoebas, and the Dread Returns, and the Sir Conrads. And like one Basalt Monolith. That's what we did last turn. Or last time. I think having the Brazen Borrowers is probably fine. And I don't think the consigns really do enough. I mean, it's nice to counter Animate Dead specifically. Or I guess Traxxas Trigger. I don't know. Maybe they could do something. I will keep. It's not really very good because Dream Halls doesn't cast Emrakul because Emrakul doesn't share a color with anything. But we have cantrips. We can dream. Put them all into 6. And they're down to 5. Okay. Alright. Let's cast this Ponder. We're looking for Show and Tell or Omniscience. Ancient Tomb is nice. The other cards are a catastrophe. So let's shuffle these. Basalt Monolith. Like if we draw another island here. Okay, Wasteland. Nice. And I'm going to cast Brainstorm and get rid of Cabal Therapy and is it Emrakul? I think it's Emrakul. And then we either Thoughtseize them now. No, I think we don't. I think we I don't know. Yeah. Okay. They had the troll. Of course. That's how that works. That's why this deck gets to get away with playing like 15 lands and 4 wastelands of being there. I don't know. All right, let's I think I actually play into the wasteland here. I get the Undercity Sewers, I get my Surveil, and then I have another land anyways. Atraxa. Yes, please. Put that on top. All right, they didn't wasteland me. So what happens if I cast Basalt Monolith here? Do they daze that? And if they do I... They didn't daze it. Wow, okay. Okay, I'll pass. I know I'm probably supposed to fight over that, but I also just really want to see if I can actually maybe cheese them here. So let's say if I Force of Will, pitching Force of Will, or Troll. Yeah, if I Force of Will, pitching Force of Will, then I need to draw either a blue or a black card, and I can Dream Halls and then cast Atraxa. Please don't have... Oh, okay. They have Reanimate. I'm going to Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. Please don't have Force of Will back. They do. Wow. Well, nice mulligan to 5. Okay, so they get Atraxa. Let's see what they reveal here. Of course, they reveal a Thoughtseize. And Animate Deads and Ponders and whatnot. Okay, I'm going to keep playing because, I mean, we're not drawing dead here. So the instant will probably be... Alright, let's see. No Ponders because they took Thoughtseize. They took the Troll. They took an Animate Dead. And they took a Polluted Delta. And they took Brainstorm. Yep. Now they Thoughtseize my... I'm guessing they're going to take Atraxa, but I could be wrong. Could be they take Dream Halls. I guess they would take Dream Halls, wouldn't they? Because I can actually cast that next turn. And then, like, if I just top deck another Atraxa, or even if I don't, like, if I in a couple of turns do, then it's they took Thoughtseize. Okay. I mean, what's the catch here? Don't I know all the cards in their hand? I guess there's one I don't know. And if that's also like another Force of Will. Okay. If I draw a blue or a black card, don't I just get to cast Atraxa now? But of course I don't. I mean, why would I? But I mean, I could have, right? And I guess now they get to... And now they get to... they have the Force of Will. That was the last card. Why wouldn't it be? Not sour at all. Okay. And what was pitched was Brainstorm. Okay. So... I'm going to pass. I might just draw a Show and Tell. But now they can just, like... They can animate dead their Troll. And then Show and Tell is not even that good, but I suppose it could be worse. Okay. They're just attacking and... Yeah, animate dead on the Troll. How about Show and Tell? So, like, if I draw Show and Tell, then they have 2 Trolls, because they'll put into the Troll in their hand. I didn't. Alright, GG's. 0-3. Rough. Alright, on the draw for round 4, I'm going to mulligan this Nolander. And I'll keep this. And bottom one of the fetch lands. Meanwhile, opponent also mulligans. They're down to 5. Okay, they found 5 they like. Okay, so this is Moon Stompy, or I suppose it could be... I suppose it could be Turbo Necro, if anyone is playing that. I think I play Snow-Covered Island here. This deck isn't cold to a Blood Moon, which is nice. But obviously Blood Moon wouldn't be great because, well, primarily because we don't get to shuffle with the Brainstorms. If it is Moon Stompy, then I am very concerned about Vexing Bauble. Though I think if they had that, they would have played it on the play here. Okay, they're passing. Okay, I'm gonna cast Brainstorm and get rid of Undercity Sewers and Narcomoeba, and we pass. Wow, pass again. This smells like Turbo Necro. Turbo Necro plays this card for the Valakut Awakening part. I don't think you want to play it out very often, but I find it impossible to believe that an Ancient Tomb Moonstompy deck would keep 5 cards with only 1 mana source, but I could be wrong, obviously. Alright, let's get Undercity Sewers here. And I'll take an Intuition. And I'm going to cast a Brainstorm. Unfortunately, we don't hit both of the things we want. Or one of the things, like, I was hoping to hit either Mesmeric Orb or the other one. So I think maybe, yeah, I don't know. What's the move here? Because I can keep open Intuition, and that can guarantee that I can then, if it is Turbo Necro and they're ready to go next turn, they have Pact, I can then Intuition for another Force of Will. I think I put back Narcomoeba and Ancient Tomb. And then if they don't do that, then I think I just Intuition for, I guess, Mesmeric Orb. They're just passing again. Perplexing. Okay, maybe it's the Basalt Monolith, because that's the one that costs more mana, so I would like to play that first. I don't know. Maybe the Mesmeric Orb is just more... It does more. No, I'll go with my gut here. I could just draw the Mesmeric Orb here, and then I win on the spot. Alright, I didn't. Let's cast Ponder. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll take the Spell Pierce, and then I'll mill away the other 2 cards. And, oh no, because it's not Mesmeric Orb. Never mind. I guess taking a Ponder is. Alright, well, I think regardless, it's probably wise to keep open Spell Pierce here and the Force. Is this the round that we're going to get on the scoreboard? It would be nice to not get the reverse trophy. They're going to discard. Interesting. It must be Turbo Necro. Yeah, Cabal Ritual. Okay, I'm gonna start off with Brainstorm here. Oh. Well, we have the combo. We just need another mana. So let's play the Mesmeric Orb. It might be that this incentivizes them to just concede, because they know we have Basalt Monolith. I guess they might as well take another draw step here, but if they don't hit something and they give us the turn, could be they also want to see how the combo works. Okay, here is action here. If they have the combo plus 2 pacts, then they get to go here. It is tempting to pierce here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. This is likely a Desperation Manamorphose. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, because they need the black mana. Oh shoot, maybe I should have pierced then. But still, like, if they drop a land. Okay, I think I pierced this. And that prompts the concession. Okay. Okay, that was not pretty. And here, I don't actually think there's any need to pivot. I'm just going to bring in the 2 Consign to Memory and likely board out 2 Brazen Borrowers. Is that... maybe that's not good. It might be like Academy Ruins and a basic island. Drop down to 19 lands. Like, Academy Ruins is not just a land. It's nice where if you have it and you have Mesmeric Orb, then like anytime you mill over a Basalt Monolith, then you can win that way. Yeah, this is a mulligan. Opponent kept 7. I'll keep this. We only play 4 forces, so we can't really be going for force or bust here. And this consigned memory, I guess consigned memory doesn't, yeah, it can buy us a turn, but it's not pretty. Okay, Manamorphose. Let's hope they exile 2 spirit guides. Okay. Dark Ritual, right. And there's Necrodominance, and it resolves. So they have expended a Manamorphose. That's the silver lining here. And they've also expended a couple of Spirit Guides, but they do play effectively 12 with the Summoner's Pacts. So they're exiling Spirit Guides like anybody's business. Oh, like nobody's business, right? That's the saying. Here's a Summoner's Pact after having exiled a bunch of Spirit Guides. And they get another Spirit Guide. So they need to get to Born Upon a Wind. The deck can't win without that. And in order to get that, they need to be casting Manamorphose. So that's sort of the key card here. And there it is. So, did they also hit Born Upon a Wind? Okay, so they are going fishing here with Valakut Awakening. They have 13 cards in hand. You would imagine they find what they need in what is likely going to be almost half of what remains of their deck. They drew 12 cards, so they kept 1. Maybe that was like the tendrils. There's Born Upon a Wind and tendrils. All right. Yeah, I don't really think anything changes here. I'd rather be the win same turn combo deck. I think we aren't really that well set up versus them, it must be said. All right, choose to be on the play. Yeah, got a mulligan. All right, I'll keep this. This is pretty sweet. I will bottom a Thoughtseize, and then I will fetch Underground Sea and cast a Thoughtseize. Okay, so they have to Pact of Negation. They have, yeah, they have the turn 1 here, I think, right? So they Chrome Mox imprinting. I guess it doesn't matter. They can just like play this Vault of Whispers, cast or exile Spirit Guide, go for Manamorphose. Oh, I guess no. They need another mana, right? Yeah. Okay. So if they Vault of Whispers, imprint, cast Chrome Mox, imprint Summoner's Pact, and then exile the Spirit Guide, tap the Chrome Mox, Manamorphose that has it. So I think we take the Necrodominance. Unfortunately, there are no doubles in their hand for this Cabal Therapy past turn. So if they just top deck another Necrodominance right now, we lose. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Okay, here comes Chrome Mox. Oh no. Did they really top deck? Because I don't think it can be, what's it called? Beseech the Mirror. No, okay, they just wanted to play this out. Land would be great here. I don't know. Like this Thoughtseize. Maybe I just Cabal Therapy here. And I probably name Pact of Negation. Although obviously like Manamorphose is the card that's best at enabling their combo, but without Pact we have this Force. Just covering all bases here, so I think... Okay, they drew Cabal Ritual. And I pass. And now they have to pass. I think I just keep like hitting their hand here. Another Pact of Negation. Well, I guess we take that. Yeah, this consigned memory is shit. It's like it's not good versus them. The thing about the Turbo Necro deck is if it ever gets to resolve the trigger off of Necrodominance, the game ends. Like, them drawing 19 cards is going to result in them drawing some number of Pact of Negation. So you're not going to have Consigned Memory in your hand to, like, disrupt them when they put tendrils on the stack. I mean, you're going to have it, but I mean, I guess, like, if you had a lot of mana, you could replicate it a bunch of times. That was not ideal. Alright, I'm going to put back Cabal Therapy here, I guess. Cast Ancient Tomb, and the wait goes on. I mean, they are the deterministic combo deck here, but I don't think they can recoup cards from their graveyards. I'm just going to Cabal Therapy and name Manamorphose here, because I think that's the best card in their head. Okay, so let's see, that's 5, and we take the Manamorphose. The Cabal Ritual can eventually get to Threshold here, and they can pay for Spell Pierce with the 2 Spirit Guides, so that's something to be aware of. Just another blue mana lets me cast Brazen Borrower and, like, just be a control deck with a Flip Delver. Alright, what's this? Maybe we can just, like, prompt a concession here. What's this? 3 mana. They're casting Elvish Spirit Guide. Seriously? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair. I can Petty Theft that, which I think I will do. I mean, I think it's a good move on their part. We have the Ancient Tomb. They can sort of see where things are going here. I can take 1 hit from the Spirit Guide, I think. Or maybe I'm just not even interested in that. Now they can replay it next turn. This is such a weird game. And I'm just so far away from, like, executing my combo here. It's not even funny. Another Ancient. Fuck off. Oh no. Okay. Well, they're just gonna, like, be chaining the Spirit Guides here. I think I have to let this resolve. Like, if I force pitching Consign, say, they have 3 mana. They just need, like, 1 more land drop to make, for Cabal Ritual, to make Spell Pierce almost inconsequential. How about hitting a combo piece here? Well, this is not looking good. And they play so many Spirit Guides, they can just, like, cast them. If they play another one, I have to force it. If I had known, I would have drawn a force just before I would have forced that one. Let's say, okay, what's this? This is probably more Spirit Guide. They can also just mini tendrils me out. That suddenly becomes a very legitimate plan of action. Ritual. Okay, I accidentally clicked on that to resolve. I think I should have Spell Pierced it. And another one. So I think I Spell Pierce. If I Spell Pierce that one, it's gonna make 3 mana. And then if they have a Spirit Guide, I think I probably am better off just letting them tendrils me here, and then I Consign a Memory and I take 2. But I mean, it is a problem. Yeah, they had a Dark Ritual, so, like, piercing that wouldn't have mattered. And we Consign. I'm not gonna replicate taking an additional 2 here. They have Pact of Negation. So what happens if I draw perfect here and I draw Basalt Monolith and then draw Mesmeric Orb? I take 4 from casting those 2 plus another 2, so I would be at 3. Oh, City of Traders. This has been such an annoying game. Yeah. Classic, you know, dead to the turn 11, 12 attack from the Elvish Spirit Guide. Ponder, thank you. Okay, show me the goods. This is almost, we're almost there, where I have to take Brazen Borrower, I go to 5, and then I bounce it, but then I'm drawing these shitty cards. Narcomoeba doesn't even block, like, it chumps. I'm gonna have to shuffle this. There's a dread return. Jeez. Okay. I go to 5. Now I can at least cast my combo pieces without taking damage from Ancient Tombs because I drew the City of Traders. The clock is ticking ultra hard here. And they could at any point draw another Spirit Guide and hard cast it, which would cut a turn off my clock because I would have to force it. Yeah, that does seem to be appear to be what's happening. Oh, and that's 4 mana. Valakut Awakening. Any number of cards from your hand and draw that many cards, and they have 1 card. Okay, so they're cycling. They're not even cycling this. They're like, didn't they just have 1 card? How did that work? Okay, come on. Combo piece. Intuition. It's too late. Well, strictly speaking, it's not too late. I can intuition now for the piece for one of the pieces, and then they attack me down to 3. And then if I untap and I draw the other piece, then I will have to tap 1 Ancient Tomb to execute that. It does involve me not having to force of will anything here. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Like, it's over anyways. Cast Ancient Tomb. Target you. And which one? Obviously it doesn't matter, but something tells me Basalt Monolith is the one I want in my hand. I draw a Basalt Monolith. I have 38 cards. There are 4 Mesmeric Orbs. So it's a little bit better than 25%. No, what am I saying? A little bit better than 10%. Yeah, wishful thinking there. So odds are against me. Mesmeric Orb. No! The last Basalt Monolith. Oh, you mock me, deck. You mock me. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to concede. But you, yeah, you watching right now and listening, this never leaves this room. You never tell anyone what you just saw. No one needs to know about this, okay? I did not just lose this way. Okay? All right, cool. Thanks. Off to round number 5. All right, we're on the play for the final round. Our last hope at just a little tiny glimpse of redemption and avoiding the reverse trophy. Yes, we keep this. And we cast the Mesmeric Orb. I believe in you, Mesmeric Orb. Oh, opponent mulligans to 5. Maybe we don't cast Mesmeric Orb. Like, opponent's mulliganing to 5 always gives me the jitters. Makes me feel like I'm supposed to try for force of will. But I will not learn. No learning, right? Alright, opponent, what will it be? That's once upon a time. Snow-covered forest. Interesting. Okay. So what are the odds that my opponent is able to put like a collector roof in play next turn? Hopefully it's prognosis negative. Alright, they mill the oof. So obviously Green Sun Zenith for 2. Immediately I have to brainstorm and hope for force of will. Okay, that's not what happened. Unless they have Cradle, though. Could happen. Okay, no, never mind. Okay. No, they have Cradle. But no Green Sun Zenith. Okay. It is Hierarch Tribal over there. And we could just get natural order next turn. Okay, let's cast Brainstorm. No Basalt Monolith, but we do find Intuition. So if their last card in hand isn't one that kills us, then suddenly we are able to do something here. Okay, I'm gonna put back the fetch land and the Mesmeric Orb. No, maybe it's the Dread Return and the fetch land. No, it's the Dread Return and the Narcomoeba. What am I talking about? And I am going to pass the turn. Hope for the best. Okay, mill Crater of Behemoth. Mill Green Sun Zenith, mill Collector Roof. None of those things were milled. White of the Reliquary, or 5 mana, 4 mana. Ugh, mana is being tapped. Green Sun's for 3. It's for 3. They could get the Oof, of course, but what else do they get that wrecks me? Because I can Intuition for Force of Will and counter this, but then my Brainstorm's gone, my Intuition's gone, I'm just down to top decking. I think I'm going to let this happen. Roll the dice and take my chances. Hopefully they get like Grist or like Leovold or White of the Reliquary. Okay. I wonder if they don't play Oof in the main. Or maybe that like this just didn't give it off enough. Like they are seeing Underground Sea, so like that's not usual. These lands are not usual for artifacts decks. What's so sweet about this combo once it actually gets going is that everything can sort of be done at instant speed except for Dread Return. But then you can also respond to Dread Return with more activations. Right. Do I get to win here? There's Sir Conrad. Alright, let's cast Basalt Monolith. Oh, hang on, I'm in my upkeep. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There's an Emrakul. That was a good draw, because that means only one Emrakul in the deck. Okay, it's in. We go again. Okay, so I found Dread Return, and Sir Conrad was already there, so now it's about finding the 3 Narcomoebas before we hit Emrakul. We have found 0 Narcomoebas so far. Second Dread Return found, 23 cards left. And this is where I'm not even sure if I start hitting Narcomoebas, if I'm supposed to put them into play. I think I'm not, because if they have removal... Okay, and my opponent conceded. So, yeah, but that... I think that's a good question, right? Okay, and now I think we try once more. Maybe it's better to have like another 2 cards that are actually synergistic with the Show and Tell combo, and then board out all of the Basalt Monoliths, or at least 3 of them, instead of what I've been doing. Yeah, I think I do just repeat the process. See if we'll get to win with Show and Tell for once. Maybe the Dream Halls is also a poor fit, because all Dream Halls really do is it casts, it cheats in the 2 Atraxa, and then it can, like, I guess, cast Intuition for free. Guess I'll keep this. It's not amazing, but we have Brainstorm to save us. Oh, but they have Thoughtseize. Yeah, sure. No more Brainstorm to save me. Guess maybe the Atraxa will give off the scent of Show and Tell. I don't know. I guess this could also be a Caracas deck. Or pass. And no thoughts, no second Thoughtseize. Okay, never mind. They have a play in the second main phase. Green Sun's for 0. Okay, so they're going for the second Dried Arbor. Alright, Undercity Sewers. Show me the Show and Tell. Is this worth Cabal Therapy and name Green Sun Zenith? I know they just cast 1, but that's the card I'm most worried about. Okay, 4 lands. Swing and a miss. But in a good way, because my opponent has 4 lands. I also kind of like the fact that I can, with the 2 Lotus Petals, I can cast Atraxa. Like, come on, Intuition, Show and Tell, Cantrip. You're not listening, deck. I don't like that they get access to a land tutor. I am going to Force of Will this. Doesn't feel like a great Force of Will, because they could easily just have another one next turn or something of greater threat. But I also just, like, I'm kind of concerned about Caracas. How about one of the cards I asked for before? Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. Pass turn again, and opponent finds another Hierarch. Beats are well and truly on. I'm now taking 3 a turn. So what do I even do if I Show and Tell here? Do I put in Atraxa? I mean, it's a theoretical question, of course, because I am not going to be able to cast Show and Tell. Another one. What's this at end of turn for 5 mana they want to do. Oh, just thinning, I guess. Me, on the other hand, not thinning, because I want access to, like, if I have to draw Brainstorm. But it looks like I'm not going to be drawing anything more this game, because they're going for 9 mana here, so they're going to Zenith for Craterhoof. Yeah, okay. I'm going to concede. And I think I keep in the juke here. I keep saying Duke. I mean juke, right? That's the word. I think I'm going to keep that in because they just saw Emrakul, which is already in the deck, although of course they didn't know about that. So I don't know. They didn't. We never showed them Emrakul in game 1, but if they know anything about the combo, then they know there's Emrakul in the deck. It's not good, but it's not terrible. I'll keep. They mulligan to 6. Maybe that's the real strength of the deck, is like getting your opponent to mulligan. Alright, I will float an island and just pass turn. If they Thoughtseize me here, I'm going to Brainstorm, because I'm going to Brainstorm anyways, but... Okay, it's the Green Suns for 0. They had the ability to get a Bayou, so I think they don't have Thoughtseize. I think they would prioritize casting Thoughtseize over Green Suns, but I could be wrong. Like, they also see the open blue mana. Here's Dream Halls. It's not nothing. Oh my god, the cards in this deck. Assault Monolith, Cabal Therapy, and a land. Great. Alright. I go for the Surveil here. Ignoble Hierarch, okay. So far so peaceful. Dryad Arbor. I think they are going for like a natural order line. Like, they mulliganed. They've kept a pretty sketchy hand otherwise, right? With only 1 fetch land, and then what else has happened here? Show and Tell? Lotus Petal. I think that can go into the graveyard. I don't know, maybe. Maybe I should have kept that, because that will potentially could allow a lot of things to happen this turn. Okay, cast Brainstorm. Fix everything. You didn't listen to me, Brainstorm. I'm gonna... I guess I'll cast Intuition. So what I could do is... I think I'm gonna Force of Will that. Yeah, Force of Will, I'm gonna pitch the Brazen Borrower. They have Veil of Summer here, it's just god-awful. I think I'm gonna... Oh, what's this? 3 mana. If this Green Suns for 2, I guess I will allow that to happen, although they've already shown me that they would get white, but I'm hoping they get Collector Roof here. So if they have Caracas, I'm fucked. And I am going to put 2 Atraxa and an Emrakul in there. Or maybe I'm supposed to put 2 Atraxa and an Omniscience. I think maybe that's better, because then if I draw a card, I can actually cast it. And I hope they, yeah, of course they make the right play. How dare they? And I get this fucking Assault Monolith. Seriously, deck. I think I just pass here. I can hard cast the Force. And then, like, if I don't have to hard cast the Force, I can then next turn cast Dream Halls and then get Omniscience into play. They have a second one. Okay. I don't think, like, whether they have 1 or 2 matters that much. I'm either dead or not pretty soon here, but the best draws I have available right now include Emrakul and Intuition. And after that, it's like cantrips, right? Ah, loud sigh. I am currently... So they sacrifice a creature that grows this and this to 4/4. And then they can just attack, and then after blocks, but before damage, yeah, they have me here. I'm gonna... Oh no, I can't even do that. Yeah, I'm just dead. It's the reverse trophy. Oh my god. That's so frustrating. So, like, if I had cast Dream Halls last turn, it would have... And then played Omniscience. This Endurance. So I force this, I go to 8, and then I'm dead because they become 4/4s and nothing else has to happen. Alright. GG's opponent. Can we go, like, what do you call it? Rapid hunting? I can't remember. There's a term for it in poker where you, like, go look for the next, like, look at what you would have drawn. But I don't think I'm going to get to do that because the league has ended now, so well, we'll see. Draw a card. Couple therapy. That's not it. Couple therapy. Age 2. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing. Nothing for Miles. Oh, well. Alright, so the reverse trophy. What does that tell us? I'm going to make the assumption that I could have played better to move the needle. I could probably also have built the deck differently. This like there are very few lists out there, and the ones I saw were built slightly differently, but not by a lot. I think like maybe the game 3 in the Turbo Necro matchup, I felt a little bit unlucky there, but I don't think that luck has had much to do with it. Otherwise, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Like when I've looked at this combo deck from time to time and thought about like you could just make this combo, but with Thassa's Oracle. But of course, then you like you lose some mileage to like traditional graveyard hate. Any graveyard hate gets you then. And it is just this in particular. The fact that Basalt Monolith costs 3 is quite clunky. Yeah, like I felt I faced 2 Daze decks, and that felt pretty rough. The Grixis control deck felt decent in game 1, but then I felt like I maybe should have seen the all the pyroblasts coming, and the Kolaghan's command also felt like pretty rough to beat. Just main deck, like shoot an artifact. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how close to a fair representation of the power level of this deck this was. Probably not a lot. If there are any Four Horsemen enthusiasts out there, I hope you still had a fun time watching me take a stroll off of a cliff with the list. Also, I want to say thank you to the people who have reached out and asked me if I were going to any of the Eternal Weekend events and wanted to meet up. That really made me smile, and I do appreciate that. I unfortunately am not going to any one of them this year. I don't know if anyone is not aware, but I am from Copenhagen in Denmark, so like the North American one and the Japan one were sort of not like non options for me. The Prague one is definitely possible. It is like an hour and a half by plane from where I live, but yeah, December is just often crunch time for me at my job, and that plus family commitments and stuff makes it so that I could go this year. But I'm hoping to go next year, so that'll hopefully happen, and I can we can say hello then. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.